What's up, guys? It's your man, Elite. Welcome back to the Elite channel. Well, we got big news today. The jury in the Sean Diddy Combs federal trial has come back with a verdict on each and every count. Some people are surprised by the verdicts. I, for one, am not, because I said all along that I did not think that the federal prosecutors, the government, had enough evidence to convict him on the most serious charges. Now, he did not get set free on everything. He didn't get not guilty on everything, but they did find him not guilty on the most serious charges. And all I can say to that is, take that, take that, take that. Take that, take that, take that. But seriously, shout out to Diddy, though. You guys may remember that 2 days ago on Monday, before the jury left for the day, they passed a note to the judge saying that they had one juror who was not agreeing with all the rest of the jurors on the first charge, which is count number 1, but that they had reached a verdict on the last 4 charges 2 through 5. Now, when that happened yesterday, most people, especially people in the mainstream media, were saying that they thought that did not look good for Diddy and his lawyers because the jury came back too soon, and that they thought that the last 4 charges were going to be guilty verdicts, and that the person holding out on the first charge, juror number 25, was holding out for a not guilty verdict on that charge, which is the racketeering charge, and that the other 11 jurors were insisting on a guilty verdict on that charge. My thinking, on the other hand, was exactly the opposite. It seemed like to me that most of the jury was trying to find him not guilty on most of the charges, but that one guy was being a hard ass when it came to the racketeering charge. That's how it seemed to me. But this is what the mainstream media was saying a couple of days ago.
If you're the defense and they send that note out this quickly,
it's bad news.
It's bad news.
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
it's bad news.
Look, if the jury, if 11 people are saying one guy is just off the reservation, that can't be for acquittal. It just can't.
I tend to agree with you. There's a small chance.
So yeah, TMZ got it wrong. What about Law and Crime?
The U.S. Attorney's Office will decide if they will retry him on that count. My gut says that it is guilty on all those counts, and they're hung on the RICO charge.
Whew, this is heavy. This potential verdict on 4 of the 5 counts.
And at the same time, a couple of days ago, this is what I was saying about it.
To me, that first note sounds like it might be good for Diddy, because there's some people in that jury room who are holding the other jurors accountable, it sounds like to me. And this man was probably trying to take shortcuts or trying to interpret the evidence in some kind of different way which didn't really make sense, and trying to sway other people. So that sounds good for Diddy for me. I think he'll probably get a fair trial. And in my opinion, I don't think they can convict him on much. Being a freak, a nasty freak, is not illegal.
So yeah, I was right on the money. 11 of those jurors wanted to acquit him of the most serious charge of racketeering, while one guy was holding out to find him guilty on that charge. I think they said he was a 51-year-old white guy, a professional, like an engineer or something like that. So he's probably also the type of guy who believes everything that the government tells him. Probably got the poke and everything. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And I believe that most people who were watching this trial believed that he was going to be convicted on most of this stuff, even though a lot of them didn't think he was really guilty of it. And of course, the mainstream media outlets seem really surprised about this outcome.
Law and Crime CEO and founder Dan Abrams. Dan, thank you for taking the time to be with us. What is your reaction, especially on this count 1 racketeering conspiracy, Sean Combs not guilty?
Look, this is a win for Sean Combs. This is a big victory. No matter how you look at this case, there was almost no chance he was going to be acquitted of the transportation for the purposes of prostitution counts. Now, when you looked at all the evidence, all the records, all the documents with regard to those counts, it was hard to imagine how he would have been acquitted of those charges. The fact that he was acquitted of all of the most serious charges is a big win. And let's talk for a moment about the racketeering charge. What, yesterday they were so incapable of reaching a unanimous verdict. They said that people, I forget the exact wording about the language that they used to talk about the divide on the jury. And then they come in and within an hour, they've got a unanimous verdict.
Well, yeah, Dan Abrams. If somebody's not guilty, then they deserve to be found not guilty. It was obvious the state didn't have enough evidence to prove what they were saying. So yeah. Well, let me know in the comments what you guys think about the seemingly shocking verdicts in the Diddy federal trial. Do you think he was actually guilty? And are you glad or are you upset that he got off? And oh yeah, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, this is your man Elite, and I am out.